Hi folks, Sheva here to help you help your loved ones through times of emotional distress and or thoughts of suicide. So today I was thinking back on a workshop I had where someone approached me after the session and shared that they actually worked as a counselor and they wanted to know my thoughts about using self-disclosure to help somebody through their hardships. So today's video is about that. First, I want to honor the fact of where this desire comes from. It comes from a really human and wonderful feeling of wanting to connect with somebody, wanting to show a person that you're really, getting it and you really understand where they're coming from to be able to create that connection. So in regards to self-disclosure, there are a few caveats. Things you have to keep in mind when using a self-disclosure. First and foremost, check your intentions, right? So most of the time the intentions are really good, but it's always a good thing, a good practice to stop yourself and ask, okay, why am I sharing this? Why do I have the desire to share this? And, if the desire is, I want them to know my hardships too, then it's not a good place to use it. Versus, well, I think there's some really key learning here that would really help them, then yeah, maybe it might be a good self-disclosure. The other thing is you want to be mindful of when you share. Is it early on in the conversation or a relationship, or is it after, right? After you've really spent the time getting to know them and really understanding where they're coming from. And thirdly, I just had dinner, I'm quite full. Thirdly, the thing you want to be mindful of is how frequently you use them. Are we throwing in self-disclosures quite frequently? That can really take away from showing a person that you're there to listen to them. So you want to be mindful of that. And fourthly, yes, there's a fourthly, after your self-disclosure, so you want to be mindful of how long it is, okay? How long are you talking about yourself? Actually, there's a lot of fifthlies and sixthlies too, so stay tuned. How long are you speaking for about yourself? Keep it short, keep it to the point, don't make it about you. Fifthly, be mindful that right after this disclosure, you're going right back to them, okay? So after you share, you're taking it right back to them and making sure they understand the relevance of what you shared being about their story and reconnecting back with them. Sixthly, I should have brought notes. There was a sixth. I can't remember the sixth. The train has left the station. I might have to come back to it. Okay. I remembered my sixth one. The sixth one was the best way, well, one of the more effective ways to use a self-disclosure is to talk about knowing a feeling, right? So you may not always connect with somebody's story or what happened to them, but what you can do is you can connect with the feeling. So one way that might be done is, you could self-disclose something like, well, I remember my college days and how lonely it felt. And then switch it right back to them, short and sweet. Tell me, how are you coping with this feeling? And it's right back to them, being about them and not about you. So sometimes instead of giving too much information about your own story, if that's not your comfort level or if you feel it's not well placed, because at the end of the day, that's a personal choice. And depending on the context, there may be different parameters. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure it's getting back to them, right? And it's about them and getting them back on track and what they can learn from it. So those are some notes on self-disclosure. Use them sparingly, check your intentions, and be really mindful that the focus of this conversation, even if you've got good intentions, is really about hearing them, making them be seen, making them feel valued, and making sure that their pain is understood and not just one-upped, right? Because there's a great danger in utilizing self-disclosures, however well-intentioned they might be. Okay? All right. See you next time.